So this is the Mongolian blood sausage. It should go well with my Mongolian beer.
When a local recommended this place, he said it's one of the first in Hohhot to offer a comprehensive range of Mongolian cuisine, so we were thrilled to be ushered into a world of Mongolian gastronomy. The restaurant named Hai actually means world, also I've read, and the building brings together all sorts of elements from the Mongolian world, even yurts on grassland out back. Just like dinner the night before, the music alone got us all hyped up.
你好，两位。
2位7要等一会儿。还有一个。
好，行。好，谢谢。
After a long day back and forth between volcanoes, we arrived back in Hohhot, and now we're looking for dinner. We are at a restaurant called Hai. It's a historic restaurant, and it's pretty busy right now. There are 2 tables in front of us, and so we are seated at the front hall waiting. And next to me is a beer fridge, and I noticed the top row has a beer I've never seen before, and decided to order one myself. It's the Thai啤酒 from Mongolia. It's looks like it's a pretty big international winner. So we're gonna see how this quenches my thirst. The beer was thirst quenching and had 2 to go with a table of fantastic dishes. Something else was also tasty enough that we had to reorder. The yogurt. For first round, we ordered the fruit version, but the yogurt itself was so delicious, the milky flavor so smooth and lingering, we didn't even touch the fruit. That's why for round 2, we just went with the original. The yogurt was a wonderful palate cleanser, especially for some of the heavier dishes, like 水长拼烤羊肝, blood sausage with grilled lamb liver. The standard platter pairs blood sausage with regular lamb sausage, the latter of which was sold out unfortunately, but there's no regret, because the livers were interesting. Don't remember having lamb livers this way before, though we've had the similar wangjing xiaoyao, a type of skewered and grilled pig's kidney. This is the liver. You can see it's got a wrapping of fats around the outside. This gives it a lot more succulence. The livers were great, and when it felt too greasy or boring, there was a sort of spicy vinaigrette dipping sauce, which also matched well with the bloody awesome blood sausages.
So this is the Mongolian blood sausage. It actually kind of reminds me of the volcanic rocks we saw earlier today. So this kind of blood sausage, it differs a bit from the Korean sundae we've had numerous times before. Doesn't have the sticky rice fillings, and you try this out. A lot softer, has garlic and chives, probably things like that. It doesn't have as obvious a metallic taste as the Korean version. It should go well with my Mongolian beer.
The Mongolian beer was also a great partner for this pot. Guess what's inside? Bet you thought these were mushrooms.
I know I've talked a lot about balls in my other videos, but these are real balls, sheep's balls.
I've had lamb testicles before, but they were all skewered then grilled. And it was my first time to have stir-fried lamb fries. Maybe because the testes were sliced, the balls shriveled up after cooking, so they had more springiness, whereas the ones I had before were soft and spongy. They did look like mushrooms though, and the texture resembled the caps of some mushrooms. This dish is named 草原羊三宝, literally 3 treasures of the pasture's land. Other than the testicles, what are the other treasures? Heart is one of them. You could tell by the firmness of the cardiac muscle and dark color from the high blood content. For those uninitiated to such visceral ingredients, the heart is actually much less awfully than most organs. Very meaty in fact, almost like super thin and lean steak slices for fajita. You also don't have to be gutsy to try the guts, as in the lamb tripe. Stomachs do have some grassy undertone, but very subtle. For the slices in this pot, you could tell from the thinness and hairy surface is probably the omasum, or the 3rd chamber of the sheep's stomach. Lamb tripe, awesome. When cut differently, the omasum looks like a book, with pages attached to the spine, as seen here. That's why it's also known as book tripe. Coincidentally, when speaking about this part of the cow's stomach dressed this way, one of its Chinese names is Ba Ye, or 100 pages. Another kind of lamb tripe. Also awesome. It's sort of like galbi in Korean barbecue. The traditional cut and LA cut are 2 different kinds of products.
In Chinese cooking, the two amazing variations are not always interchangeable. The tripe here were fresh and clean, the gray membranes were washed off, but these weren't bleached, so they had a naturally uneven beige hue instead of a uniform paper white color. I think there were also some other tripes from the fourth chamber. These were thicker, multi-layered, and with smooth surface. I know, it's been an awful lot of offals. Let's look at regular meat, such as the stuffings in the Toro xianbi, flatbread with camel meat. Those candidly camelicious. But if we didn't know what we ordered, we might have thought that the fillings were made with pork and or beef, and the texture wasn't very fatty, so it's probably not the hump. The term bing can refer to a wide range of foods from crab to pizza. The Toro xianbi before is a type of bing, and so is this Mongolian suanlai bing. But this one's more like a pancake than a flatbread. It's a pillowy dish made with yogurt as a main ingredient. Couldn't really taste the yogurt though. Somewhat a disappointment given the fabulous liquid yogurts mentioned a few minutes ago.
So we had a good meal to treat ourselves after a big trip to the volcano. So going back to the hotel. Good night. 再见.